Welcome back to New York. It is hard to believe that the Green Bay Packers are the same team that was dominated Monday night by the Giants. That 49 points in the first half establishes a record. That's the most points ever scored in a half. It has been a long afternoon for John McKay and the Buccaneers, and it started this way. A punt return by Philip Epps for 89 yards, and it was 7-0. How did Lynn Dickey do in the first half? 10 of 14, 267 yards, and 3 touchdowns. This was his first. The rookie, Jesse Clark. 75 yards for the score. And how did James Lofton do? He also put 6 on the board. Crossing pattern, and the Buccaneers have been absolutely pathetic this afternoon. The Packers have scored a pair of defensive touchdowns. They've recovered a fumble for 1, intercepted a pass and ran it into the end zone, 49-7, and they just started the third quarter. Philadelphia and Atlanta, and the story here is Ron Jaworski. If you saw the lick he took a week ago against the St. Louis Cardinals, you'd be amazed that he's even playing this afternoon for Marion Campbell. But Irv, not only is he playing, he is doing a sensational job. His receiver sealed up by Atlanta here, and he simply strolls on into the end zone for the first 7. And then he came back, and with good protection on a beat-up offensive line, drilled that touchdown pass to Vito Cab, and okay, that's the Falcons' signal there, and Bartkowski made it pay off to Floyd Hodge, the rookie, on the 6-yarder, and it is now 21-7, the Eagles with the lead. The Washington Redskins. Someday soon, folks are going to start to believe in this football team. They have dominated the Los Angeles Raiders, who are playing without the great Marcus Allen because of an injured leg. 17-7 right now. The Redskins and Joe Theismann in the lead at the half. Cincinnati has just scored again, so it is now 31-21 over the Baltimore Colts. They are in the third quarter there. The Chicago Bears, they always beat up on the AFC West. It is 24-0. Willie Gault has scored, and it is his 5th touchdown of the season. San Francisco and New England, they are underway in the third, and the 49ers lead the Patriots 20-6 now. And let's take a look at some of the action there. Ron Meyer of the Patriots with his big running game, and also the AFC's leading quarterback in Steve Grogan. And in the early going, he was right in the middle of it when Derek Ramsey, the former Raider, caught that touchdown pass. But it has simply been a case of too much Joe Montana. There he hit the former Patriot Russ Francis for an 8-yard score. And then after that, Montana and the 49ers simply dominated. And when the ball was down inside the 10, Jeff Moore got outside. Wendell Tyler, of course, is sidelined for a couple of weeks. But Jeff scored their touchdown, and it is now 20-6, the 49ers with an early lead. Seattle and Cleveland have been slugging it out, still tied at 3. They are in the third quarter of that game. And the Houston Oilers have gone ahead of the Pittsburgh Steelers 10-7. They are in the third there. And, of course, the game you are watching and has the Dallas Cowboys again behind, I guess, for the 5th straight time. And, Irv, how do you analyze it?
Well, of course, you know, the Cowboys have only given up 3 touchdown passes coming into this game. They gave up 2 in the first half alone. We'll see why they work, Brent. Trying to get the free safety to move either away from the ball or step up is really the key against this pass here. Dills hitting Sammy White on a deep post. Everson Walls falls down, but the free safety moved away. That's really the key. Dills this time working against the blitz, looking for the free safety. He steps up, throws behind him deep. Sammy White, 2nd touchdown of the day. So really the key, I guess, in beating that Cowboys secondary is to get that free safety to make a bite. Here, Danny White faking a run, can't find anybody, scrambles in for himself for a 2-yard touchdown ran, but a few plays later, Danny White fumbled for the Cowboys. The Vikings recovered, and Ted Brown ran in from 5 yards out, and the Vikings have a commanding 24-13 lead. But remember now, the Cowboys have controlled teams in the fourth quarter and have scored 46 points and only given up 21.
The free safety has been biting. Now, how do you change that? You're a former defensive back. What adjustment must the Cowboys make?
You tell the free safety, don't react to the first move. Stay back there and read it. Hold the count and then move.
All right. The NFL Today will continue on CBS after these messages from your local stations.
WCCO Television, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Baseball note today, the New York Mets have just revealed that manager Frank Howard has been fired. No replacement has been named. Now, you know, before 1974, regular season games that ended in a tie in the NFL stayed that way. No overtime until the playoffs. But that year, the NFL officials wisely decided that even during the regular season, it wasn't much fun for a fan to leave a game with the feeling that, well, he's just kissed his sister. So that rule was changed, and as Charles C. Canty now tells us, this season has started out on an overtime binge. For some, the agony of sudden death, but for others, the ecstasy of instant victory.
All right, this is for the ball game. 41-yard field goal attempt by Jan Stenerud in overtime to give the Packers a 41-38 victory. It's long enough. It is good. Green Bay wins it.
Got it. Jets win.
Overtime games are usually rare in the NFL, but not this year. Already there have been 8 sudden death games, and we're closing in on the record 13 overtime games played in 1980. Why the increase?
Parity in the league. I think that's the biggest reason. I think the teams are very even now. You look at the teams that are on the top and on the bottom, and it could be reversed in a lot of cases.
An overtime game can be won or lost in just a single play. Usually the outcome rests on the shoulders of a field goal kicker. How do they react?
I was thinking tremendous. I'm going to get a chance finally, because I've never had a chance to actually win a ball game, and I was psyched up for it, and I was very positive.
Snap, kick, it's up, it's long, yes! It's good! The Saints win it! The Saints win it overtime!
When you get into those situations, you just got to be totally blank kind of thing and confident that you can just go ahead and strike it, and you're a hitman. You get paid to put in that one shot nobody else will, and that's in essence the nature of our profession.
Seemingly one of the most important decisions about overtime takes place before the extra period even starts, the coin flip. But is it that important? In 80 regular season games, including those played this year, the team that won the toss was victorious 50% of the time. And of those 40 wins, 24 came on the team's first possession after winning the flip. The Baltimore Colts did just that last week. They won the toss and on their first possession kicked a field goal to defeat the Chicago Bears. Winning in sudden death can be exhilarating, but the Bears found their second straight overtime loss extremely unpleasant.
I feel a tremendous amount of pressure because I think the monkey's on our backs there.
I think that after losing 2 in overtime, I think that it does hurt more. It's almost like a cancer that starts eating into you, and it makes you not only unhappy and discomfortable, but it makes you start wondering at times why.
Irv, both teams should touch the ball in overtime, right?
No, I think the first team to score should win. You have
You're
60
wrong
minutes to
on
win
that.
or lose.
Let me go out and ask Pat Summerall and John Madden what they think about that. Pat?
Well, Brett, I'm not so sure about the overtime business. I think, as long as I can remember, I think I was in the first overtime game of any consequence, Baltimore and New York, and we just took it for granted that that's the way it was.
That's what I think, too. That's the rule. That's the way you play. If you win the flip, you go score. If you don't win the flip, then you have to play defense, get the ball back and go score. I think as long as you know the rule and you know what it is, then you just have to go do it. No big deal.
And the fact that for the most part it's eliminated the tie game, I think, is the real great advantage of the whole thing.
And I think it also has a lot to do with parity. I think we're seeing so many because the teams really are close to evenly matched.
Right here at the Hubert Humphrey Metrodome in Minnesota, the Minnesota Vikings lead Dallas 24-13, but we still have one more half of football to go. And if it's anything like what took place in the first half, it should be very, very exciting. So one more time, another half to go. Minnesota leading Dallas 24-13. The Vikings have been very impressive. They've taken advantage of all the breaks.